She didn't call, she didn't leave a note, she didn't come back. On an otherwise ordinary day in Arlington, Texas, Emelita Reeves vanished without corroboration. There was no forced entry, no eyewitness, no immediate sign of violence, only an absence that settled quietly into her home and then into the lives of those who expected to hear from her again. In the early hours of her disappearance, there was nothing to suggest this was anything more than a domestic disappearance. No alarm was raised, no urgent press conference followed, just a narrative gap where a woman should have been. Her husband was present, calm, cooperative. He spoke in measured sentences. There was nothing, at first, to distinguish this case from countless others that begin the same way: an adult woman missing, presumed to have left on her own. But disappearance is not the same as departure, and absence, when it repeats, begins to change its meaning. Because this was not the first time death, or something close to it, had followed him, at the beginning, no one recognized what this disappearance would ultimately reveal. Emelita Reeves was a mother. That fact shaped every decision she made, every risk she accepted, and every hope she carried across an ocean. She was born in the Philippines, where opportunity was limited and responsibility arrived early. Like many women navigating similar realities, she turned to a mail-order marriage agency not as an act of desperation, but of calculation. A chance at stability, a future for her child, a partner who promised security. Through letters, phone calls, and carefully chosen words, she met an American man. He presented himself as reliable, established, looking for companionship. The arrangement followed a familiar pattern: courtship at a distance, immigration paperwork, visas, promises of a better life. When Emelita arrived in Texas, she entered a new domestic routine, a new country, a new home, a marriage in which her legal status, financial security, and social support were all intertwined with one person. The last verified contact placed Emelita inside that home. There were no signs of disruption, no packed bags, no indication she planned to leave. Then came an unaccounted interval: hours, then days during which nothing about her movements could be independently confirmed. For those who knew her, the silence felt wrong. Emelita did not disappear from her child. She did not abandon her responsibilities. She did not vanish without explanation. When she didn't return, suspicion did not arrive all at once. It crept in slowly. As detectives began standard inquiries, attention turned inward toward the household, the daily routine, and the person who had last shared space with her. Her husband's background appeared unremarkable. He was cooperative. He answered questions. There was no immediate criminal history that explained violence. But investigation is not built on impressions. It is built on patterns. As records were reviewed, a detail emerged. Then another. Before Emelita, there had been other wives. 2 of them were dead. The first death had been ruled natural. The second, accidental. Each case closed years earlier. Each explanation accepted at the time. Separate jurisdictions. Separate circumstances. No visible connection until now. Pattern recognition rarely announces itself. It forms quietly, through repetition, through statistical improbability, through the growing discomfort that coincidence has limits. Detectives began asking questions that could no longer be dismissed as intrusive. How often does one man outlive multiple spouses? How often do those deaths occur under uncertain circumstances? How often does every explanation rely on the same narrator? It was no longer just about where Emelita had gone, but about who she had married. Friends and acquaintances struggled to articulate what they had sensed only in hindsight. Many recalled nothing overt, no visible injuries, no public confrontations, no moments that demanded intervention. At the time, it didn't seem strange. They would later say, in public, the husband appeared attentive. Quiet, polite, he managed impressions carefully, and in retrospect, that restraint became part of the concern. Small controls surfaced only after Emelita was gone, who managed the money, who handled paperwork, who spoke on her behalf, who made decisions. None of these actions raised alarms on their own. Together, they formed a structure of dependence that felt normal while it was happening. Behavioral hindsight bias is unforgiving. It convinces people they should have known, even when there was little to see. Charm does not present itself as a warning. It smooths over friction until silence feels routine. But suspicion alone does not reopen graves or rewrite death certificates. What altered the direction of the case was not a confession or a witness, but documentation. Detectives requested post-mortem reviews of the prior wives' deaths. Medical examiners returned to autopsy reports that had been signed off years earlier, at a time when no one was searching for connections. Cause of death, manner of death, two phrases often conflated by the public, but sharply distinct in forensic medicine. Inconsistencies began to surface. Details once dismissed as incidental demanded reevaluation. Timelines no longer aligned. Injuries suggested possibilities beyond the original conclusions. Something in the morgue did not match the story. Forensic reassessment does not accuse, it questions, and those questions slowly eroded the certainty that had protected the husband for years. What the body cannot say in life, it sometimes reveals in death. As forensic findings gained clarity, legal pressure followed. The deaths were no longer viewed as isolated events. They became part of a potential behavioral continuum. 3 wives, 3 deaths, 1 husband. Prosecutors examined whether the evidentiary threshold had finally been reached, whether pattern admissibility could convert suspicion into accountability. This was not about emotion, it was about convergence, medical findings, timelines, behavioral analysis, pieces that explained little on their own, but together formed a picture increasingly difficult to dismiss. For years, the truth had waited silent, preserved, and patient. Justice, when delayed, rarely arrives cleanly. It brings questions that cannot be fully resolved in courtrooms. Emelita Reeves did not live to see the scrutiny her disappearance triggered, but her absence forced institutions to look backward, to challenge assumptions, to reopen files, and to reconsider deaths once believed settled. Medical examiners became the final witnesses for women who could no longer speak. Paperwork, once trusted without hesitation, became evidence of how predators rely on time, silence, and administrative closure. This case offers no comfortable ending, only a legacy of delayed accountability and the unsettling recognition that patterns often become visible only after irreversible harm has occurred. How many disappearances are explained too quickly? How many coincidences go unchallenged? How many truths remain buried waiting for someone to ask the wrong question at the right time. If you want to continue examining cases where power hides behind ordinary lives, where quiet decisions lead to irreversible consequences, subscribe to the channel. New investigations are released weekly. Some stories end, some never do.